Hi, welcome to Tiny Vegan Kitchen, and this is our Thanksgiving menu. We are cooking a tofurkey roast with mixed roasted vegetables, some wild rice, crescent rolls, and something else on the side. What? String beans on the side. We're going to start with our tofurkey roast. Simply split the wrapper. Now these have very specific preparation instructions. Read the box. If you're cooking it from frozen, you can do that. It takes about 3 hours. Ours has been thawed for at least 24 hours before preparation. So we can cook ours for about an hour and 15 minutes. About an hour and a half total. So we trim this off, and this is ready to go. Place it in your pan, and then you want to chop your vegetables. So first of all, you want to chop your potatoes. Peel and wash them first. Chop your carrots. Then chop your spring onions. Once your vegetables have been prepared, place them around the roast in the dish. This is just like if you were doing a meat roast, exactly the same way, except this is 100% cruelty free. So we have our potatoes and our carrots, spring onions on top. I'm just going to mix that up, make sure that you get a nice even spread so that they cook nice and evenly. And now we're going to prepare the baste for the turkey roast, fake turkey. Now we're going to prepare the baste for the tofurkey. The baste consists of soy sauce and olive oil. And we have 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That's 1 and 2. And we're going to just lightly whip this together. Once that's done, we're going to use about half of this on our roast and our veggies right now. So just drizzle that across, make sure it's nicely covered. I'm going to save the other half for when it's partly cooked, just before it's done. Just going to make sure this is nice and even. Make sure that marinates nice and well. Veggies look good. Okay, now we're ready to cover this and put it in the oven. Now you can either use a casserole dish that has a secure fitting lid, or if you don't have one like us, choose a simple pan and cover it with tin foil. Make sure it's nice and tightly covered. You should have preheated your oven to 360 degrees as we have here, and then it's ready to go. It will be in the oven for an hour and 15 minutes for the first time. After an hour and 15 minutes, check it, make sure it looks all good, uncover it, add the rest of the baste, and then put it back in the oven for 10 minutes. That'll just finish it off and it'll be ready to serve. And there we go, 1 sealed tofurkey, ready for the oven. It's an hour and 15 minutes, 360 degrees Fahrenheit. And don't worry if you've forgotten any of these ingredients or directions. Everything's available on our website at www.tinyvegankitchen.com. Now that that's in the oven, we're going to work on the sides. The green beans, the crescent rolls, and the rice. With your green beans, just snap the ends and separate them up into the dishes. You can do as many as you want. The tofurkey roast serves about 4 people. This meal's for about 4. Now the rice is really easy to prepare. We're using packet rice from Uncle Ben's. And all you need to do is throw everything into the pan at the same time and put it on the stove. So you start with 2 1/4 cups of water. In the box you get a little packet of seasoning. And the rice itself. And I'm going to add to this about a tablespoon of olive oil, a little bit less, doesn't really need too much. And just bring that to the boil on the stove. And once this has been brought to the boil, turn down the heat and simmer for 25 minutes and your rice will be ready. For our crescent rolls, we're using Pillsbury's Iron. These are so simple to make. They're actually made for you. Now these crescent rolls are best straight from the fridge. Ours are a little soft. You just peel them out. So you just roll these. Again, the directions for these are on the packet, so no mystery. You can also go to our website and we'll have full details about how to make these things. Probably make them better than I'm doing right now. These go in the oven for about 10 minutes at about 375 Fahrenheit. Welcome back. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. Our roast has been in the oven. We're going to rebaste it, uncover it, and get it back in for its final 10 minutes. Alright, let's see how this looks. Now, unless you have fireproof fingers, don't touch this. Okay, that's looking great. We're going to mix with the vegetables a little bit. And we're going to add the rest of the base. There isn't much of this left. So I'm just going to put it on top here. And down on the veggies. Make sure the potatoes are turned over, so they'll cook on the other side a little bit. And we're going to put it back in the oven. We're going to put it in the oven at the same time as the crescent rolls. Because the crescent rolls cook for 10 minutes, and this cooks for 10 minutes. We want everything to be hot at the same time, so that works out perfectly. Crescent rolls go in next to it. Now don't forget to adjust the cooking time depending on the heat of your oven. Our oven is extra hot, so we're not going to cook it for as long. Our rice is cooking. Going to bring this to a boil, simmer for 25 minutes. So now we're going to cook the green beans. We're going to add a little bit of water to the pan. Get that on. We're not going to cook these in oil. We've used a lot of oil in these dishes so far. We're just going to put this in a little bit of water and add a little bit of salt. So add the green beans to the pot. And put the lid on. Okay, the rice is now boiling, so we're going to turn this down slightly. And we're just going to let that simmer for about 25 minutes. Okay, everything's cooked and we're ready to go. What we need to do now is get the roast out of the oven and carve it. Wow, that's looking great. And everything else is looking fantastic. So let's get into this thing. This is such a fantastic, healthy way to have a really delicious Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. Tofurkey is so much better for you than real turkey. It's better for the environment, it's better for the animals. And who wouldn't want a plate like this? Thanks for joining us on Tiny Vegan Kitchen. We'll see you next time.